What is going on, everyone? It's your boy Danny GG back with another video. So today's topic is very interesting and I haven't really seen anyone talking about this. So looking back all the way to the July gameplay reveal from 2020, there was an instance where the player opens up his menu and in the top you can see a tab labeled upgrades. Now at the time, no one really thought much of this. I totally didn't even notice it my first watch through, but this has been something that's always been in the back of my mind since it was revealed. So I've decided to bring my local Halo legend and fellow content creator, Jerasunder, onto the channel to have a quick discussion and discuss some of the possibilities and implications of this upgrade tab. So without any further hesitation, here is the conversation between Jerasunder and I. Enjoy. Alright, Mr. Jerasunder, thanks again for joining me on the channel today, and I just wanted to pick your brain about this potential upgrades tab in Halo Infinite and kind of get your perspective what that meant and where do you think it's going to lead us in the game.
See, there's a lot that you could do with something like that. I feel like the most comparable game to Halo Infinite that I keep going back to is Breath of the Wild, and I know that Breath of the Wild doesn't have any upgrade tabs or anything like that. And I'm starting to think this doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about.
No,
it doesn't really have anything like that.
You get the orbs.
I think of it. Yeah, that's true. That is something you do. So they could do something like that. But I imagine it's going to be something like you're going to find physical augments for yourself, like movement speed buffs and melee buffs and things like that. I think that's what that upgrade tab will be more. It probably will have a currency type of thing, like the Korok seeds in Breath of the Wild, where you just have to keep on collecting, and then you can like turn them into like a quote unquote vendor or something at some weird UNSC hub or something like that.
Maybe there's maybe like a UNSC currency or like a Forerunner shards or some bullshit like that. You go to like an installation.
Bring more of these shards to me, and I can use them to enhance your armor.
Yeah, you go to like one of those beam emitters, and there's like a dungeon. And you know 10 Forerunner shards to make your
I'm sweating.
Yeah,
I got the vapors.
So on my stream the other night, me and the chat were talking about this, and they actually asked me with that. They're like, what do you think the upgrade is going to be? I was like, oh, well, that's a really good video idea. So whoever asked that, thank you if you're watching this. But I was thinking like definitely skill trees to kind of enhance your equipment. So whether that's like grapple hook charges or grapple hook cooldown, or I was then thinking with the drop wall, which is kind of a cool ability, but it's not something super original, but maybe like drop wall damage intake, because it probably will get destroyed, or even drop wall size. And then I thought
drop wall like use limitation or something like that.
Yeah. And then I got an idea of maybe what if there's like a tier 4, like, you know, legendary upgrade for it, and makes a drop wall a bubble shield. Like, that'd be cool. Like a drop shield from Halo Reach or something, or Halo 3 bubble shield.
Yeah. You know, it also starts to beg the question of like, what's the deal with weapons and stuff? I mean, we have no idea what this game looks like at all still.
Yeah.
So like I'm wondering if there's like a hub or something, could there be like a place where you can go to upgrade your weapons, and then you set to bring them back out into the battlefield, and you can just always go back and get an upgraded version of your weapon or something like that? I mean, we know there's pickups because we've seen them in the trailer. So I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm curious how this all is going to come into play. I mean, RPG elements are super cool, and I'm excited to see what they do with them. You know what I hope, actually? I hope that they physically alter your appearance. I want that to be a thing.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we have a little bit of a hint with that, with the grappling hook looks to be permanently affixed onto his arm. Like, they really went all in with that. So earlier you mentioned like Breath of the Wild, like, you know, you can get your orbs and kind of buy stamina, health, whatever abilities you want to upgrade. But I wonder, almost like a Borderlands type thing, where if you go into a certain area that like is kind of off the beaten path, if there are like severely stronger enemies in that area, it's you know, it would have like the skull thing or something, or like a warning saying like, are you sure, like you're not quite at this level yet, and you know, maybe you do need to go through some upgrades if you want to be able to do that.
That's something I didn't think about until just now. It'd be cool if they, again on the topic of RPG elements, it'd be cool if they kind of use that and had enemies with a level of difficulty based on where you're at. and well, like because everything scales and stuff, and usually there's areas you're not supposed to go to yet. So I could see like if you go somewhere you're not supposed to, the enemy has a legendary skull above their head, or like
Yeah.
a heroic skull above their head. It's like you're kind of outgeared here, you know?
Yeah. But then that also opens the door of, well, what happens if you go there and you're underleveled, but you can do it? Like you're just good at the game or something. Like,
Oh well, I mean, I would take it to mean that this game is going to be free form. Like I have a feeling that's what we're getting at. I think that there's some story beats that are kind of baked into it, but in a sort of non-linear way. I mean, they said there's a golden path to the game, but a
Yeah.
golden path means that it's got forks in the road. You know what I mean?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, and now with all this RPG stuff, this really kind of posed a little bit of a difficulty compared to past Halo games. So obviously, a semi-open world style like this is new to Halo, but how is that going to translate to your co-op and your split screen if, I'm 10 hours into the campaign and I have all these upgrade trees and I want to play with my friend, or I want to add a buddy on split screen? Like, is there like multiple saves? I can't just hop into mission 3 or something like in a different Halo game.
I have two different ideas for this. One of them is make it so that until someone has completed the campaign, or if they started the campaign together and they had, okay, so let's say I'm new and you're not. You're halfway through the campaign. I'm not halfway through. Don't let me get into a game with you and start the campaign with you halfway through. Make it so that I have to start with someone else or start through myself and work my way up to you. Kind of Dark Souls-y in a sense. Alternatively, you could just do level scaling. Character-based level scaling. Borderlands 3 does this really well, where no matter the scenario you're thrown into, you could be thrown into the literal end game of the game, and your character will be scaled to that fight. So it'll be as hard as it is for your buddy, but your weapons are essentially just as effective.
I don't know. It's something they're definitely going to have to navigate for it being a first-time open-world Halo, because,
Yeah.
the old Halo game campaign missions are so, like, self-contained, and, you can think, like, all right, here's that mission, and these are the things that happen, bop, bop, bop. I can go here, and I can hop in, or I can start at Rally Point Bravo or whatever and, like, do this, but it's going to be... on one hand, it's going to be a lot cooler because there's going to be so much more to do and explore, but also, how some Halo fans get is, I can't play it. I can't just hop into mission 2 like I want to. Or maybe you can. Maybe they have a way around that, and, they've been planning it for 6 years, so I've only been playing it for 6 minutes.
The more I think about it, the more it gets me excited about just all the ideas around it. Like, I'm imagining... like just the idea of Halo, which you can argue that Halo people who play campaign primarily will tell you that the campaign has infinite replayability, and I agree to an extent that it does have unlimited playability, and it's only really because the game lends itself so well to its sandbox, right? There's so many things you can do within the physics engine. Do you want to sit on top? You want to pull a mint blitz? You want to sit on top of a box door, grenade at it, grab him, fly across the map? You can do that. So so be it. Do you want to jack a Banshee in Halo's TE and drive it all the way through, 2 betrayals or what have you, and just skip through all that stuff? You can do that. Do you want to walk and melee everybody? You can do that. The thing is, it's a sandbox game, so it's designed around every single way you could feasibly play the game. It's supposed to be open to that idea. So the fact that Halo Infinite is talking about taking what we already know is really good in terms of replayability, and they're opening it up. They're just they're knocking the walls down. That's what they kept saying, is that it's CE with the walls knocked down.
Yeah.
The fact that they're doing that just makes me think this campaign is very potentially going to be the most replayable Halo campaign of all time, which is just
I sure hope so.
Exciting. I wonder if there's levels.
Yeah.
I'm giddy. I'm sorry.
But I think it really brings up an interesting conversation with these potential RPG elements, how it's going to work for like specific missions on their own and split screen and all that. But you, viewer, I'd like to know what you think. So make sure to leave a comment. And if you enjoyed our discussion, make sure to leave a good old like. I'm sure you guys all know Jarasunder for his epic Halo content. But if you don't, go check him out.
toss him a sub.
So I hope this video piqued your interest about the possibilities for RPG style elements in Halo Infinite's campaign. As always, I would love to hear what y'all think in the comments, and it would be extremely epic to get this video to 69 likes. Nice. And lastly, if you found yourself enjoying this video at any time, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more content leading up to Halo Infinite. That's all for now, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.